Hello Year 5 and welcome to your maths lesson for today. So I hope you got on well with yesterday's lesson. Yesterday we looked at turning improper fractions into mixed numbers. And today, yeah, you're right, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to turn mixed numbers into improper fractions, okay? So let's wake your brains up first, shall we? Let's do some multiplication questions. So set yourself a timer, do 5 minutes, pause the video and have a go at these questions. Okay, calculate 132 multiplied by 14. Okay, so we're using our long multiplication. Your answer is 1,848. Find the area of the rectangle. And we know that we're doing the area, we're multiplying the length by the width. So it's going to be 23 multiplied by 6. And we know because it's area, it's got to be centimetres squared. The answer is 138 centimetres squares. Now, two factors of 14 are 1 and 14. What are the other two factors? Well, we know that when we do it, we always start with 1 times by the biggest number. Then we work our way up. What would 2 be? Well, 2 would be 2 multiplied by 7. Okay, so we know that it'd be 2 and 7. We know it can't be 3, 4, 5 or 6 because they don't appear in the 14 times table. So those are our remaining two factors. What would the next number be? Okay, if you pay close attention, okay, our hundreds went down in one lots of 100. So we need 100 less than 14,000, and that's 13,900. So well done if you got those correct. The time over here on the clock, if you've spotted it, is 5:15. So that's either going to be 5:15 or it's going to be 15:15 if you've done it using the 24-hour clock. So well done if you managed to get those all correct. If you've made any mistakes and you're not quite sure where you've went wrong, pause the video and go back and identify where you've gone wrong and correct your answer. So what I would like you to do for these questions here is you are going to have a go at writing the improper fractions. So this is recapping our work that we did yesterday. So again, pause the video, give yourself 5 minutes and see if you can answer these questions. Off you go. Okay, write the fraction as an improper fraction. Well, I can see I've got 6 altogether and shaded, 4 of them are shaded in. So I have got a total of 4 out of 3. Okay. Write the fraction as an improper fraction. Well, I know I'm split each one into 4, so I know my denominator is going to be 4, and I've got 4, 8, 9, so it's going to be 9/4. Okay. Complete the part-whole models. Okay, so just got to add our numerator together. So 5 add 3 is 8/5, and 11 add 6 is going to give us, so this is where you do the inverse. So how would I find the missing one? I do 11 take away 6, and that's going to give me 5/6. Okay. Well done if you got those correct. If you haven't, you need to have a look and see where you went wrong, okay? Because it's going to help you with today's lesson. So let's have a look at these bars we've got here. Now, I can see that each bar is split equally into 2. So I know I'm looking at halves. But I can see that I've got 3 shaded in here out of my 2 sets of my halves. So I know my denominator is 2 because I can see it's split into 2 and I can see I've got 3 shaded. So that means my numerator is going to be 3. Now this is what we looked at yesterday. This is what is an improper fraction. And we call it an improper fraction because it means the numerator is bigger. So it's greater than the denominator, which is the bottom number. Okay. So what that's the same as saying, okay, is if we have a look at this, we've got one whole lot there. So we'd have one whole. And then in my other fraction here, I can see I have 1/2. So I would write that as 1 and 1/2. So that tells me I have one whole and I have 1/2. And today I'm going to show you how we work that out backwards. Okay. Now that is what we call a mixed number. Okay. So this is when we have a whole number and then a fraction. So that fraction is almost that remainder that we looked at yesterday, that little bit that's left over. So if we have a look at it as a part-whole model, we know that the top part of our part-whole model is the total. And these two added together must equal the total. So if we add 2 wholes and 1/4, it's going to give us 2 wholes and 1/4. Okay, so we just add them together. And that is a mixed number because we've got one number that's a whole and one number that is a fraction. So let's see if we can work out how we now do it backwards. And I'm going to show you different ways to do this today. Now, I can see here I've got 2 wholes. Okay, and I know I'm dividing it by 4, okay, because my denominator tells me how many equal parts. And I have 2 lots of 4 equal parts. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one whole there. Then I can see at 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 2 wholes I've got all together. But then it tells me I have an extra quarter. I have 1 left over. So I have my 1 little quarter. So now I need to work out, well, how many quarters is that all together? So all I have to do is just count them, okay? So here, 1 whole is the same as 4 quarters. So that would be 4 quarters. Then I've got my other whole one there, which is another 4/4. We're going to add that 4/4 as well. And here I can see I've got 1/4. So I'm going to add that 1/4. All I need to do now is add my numerators together. I know that 4 add 4 add 1 is going to give me 9/4. Now, another way of doing this, if you can do this in your head with your times tables, is you can do it this way. So let me show you. What you could do first is multiply the denominator with the whole number. So you do 2 times 4, because that's effectively what we've done. We've got 2 lots of 4, so we've got 8 whole ones there. So we do 2 times 4, that gives us 8. Then all you need to do is add the numerator. So we've got 8, we've got to add 1, 8 add 1 is 9, and that gives you your 9/4. Okay? So let's see if you can have a go at doing it this way round. So you can have a go at adding all of the numbers, or you can have a go at multiplying the denominator in the whole number and adding the numerator. So pause the video and just have a think. Do you think you know how to do this yet? Okay, well, let's see if you managed to get it right. So here we can see that we've got 3 whole lots of 8, and we know that they've got to be split equally into 8 because my denominator tells me how many equal parts. So each whole one here has got 8 parts in it, and I need 3 of them because my number here tells me I've got 3 lots of my 8. But then it tells me I've got 5 extra ones left over. So let's add them all together then. Okay, so I've got 1 8 there, which is the same as 8 8 because that's a whole. Then I have another whole lot of 8s, so that's adding another 8 8s. And then here I've got a third one. So now I've got another 8 8s. And here, I haven't got a whole one here, but if I count them, I can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 8s. So I need to add my 5 8s on there. So now I need to think, well, I need to add them all together. Now I'm not going to add 8, add 8, add 8, because I know that 3 times 8 is 24. So all I need to do then is do 24, add my 5, and that gives me 29 out of 8. Now, if you can do it using your multiple times tables, let's multiply them. So we do our denominator multiplied by a whole number. 3 times 8 is, good, 24. And then all we're going to do is add the numerator. And 24, add 5, gives us 29. Easy peasy. So now that you know how to do that, and you've got your 2 different ways of doing it, what I'd like to do is pause the video and have a go at questions 1 and 2 on your worksheet. Okay, so let's see how we now convert this mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay, so we have 5 lots of 6. We know it's 6 because our denominator tells us how many equal parts. And I need 5 of them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 lots of 6. Then I need an extra one left over. Okay, so all I need to do now is add these all together. And this is what I said a minute ago. This is the same as saying 5 times 6, okay, because it's 6 lots of 6 wholes. And that's the same as when we did 5 multiplied by 6 here. So we do 5 multiplied by 6, well, that gives us 30. And then all we need to do is add that additional 1/3 on. So 30, add the 1, gives us 31 over 6, okay? So pause the video. And what I would like to do is see if you can have a go doing it using my method. So you're going to multiply the whole number and the denominator together, and then you're going to add your numerator onto your answer. So pause the video and see if you can have a go. Okay, well, let me show you then. So 2 multiplied by 5 is, good, it's 10. And then we're going to add the numerators. We're going to do 10 add 4, 14. And we know that it's going to have the same denominator because the denominator doesn't change. Okay, that's important to remember. Our denominator here does not change because it's still looking at 5 equal parts. Now, same for this one, it's going to be 6 equal parts, so our denominator is going to be 16. Let's multiply them. So we do 10 times 6 is 60. We're going to add our numerators. We're going to do 60 add 5, 65 over 6. Okay, that is an easy way to do it, but as long as you know your times tables. So if you struggle with this method, that tells me that you need to go back and learn your times tables. So remember, multiply by the denominator, add the numerator. Okay, so now that you know that, okay, if that's any easier for you, I would like to have a go at doing the rest of the questions on your worksheet. Okay, now remember the rule. Okay, you always have your whole number, you multiply the denominator, so you multiply it by the bottom number and you add the numerator, so you add the top number on there. Okay, so say it with me, multiply by the denominator, add the numerator. Good, multiply the denominator, add the numerator. Okay, and that's how we turn it from a mixed number into an improper fraction. And you'll know if you got the answer right, because an improper fraction means that that numerator has got to be bigger. It's got to be bigger than our denominator, okay? So pause the video, okay, it's the end of your lesson, and have a go at finishing off the rest of your questions, okay? Good luck, year 5.